Before something happens to me, I think I should explain. One of the reasons why people hurt me, try to drug me, slap me around, they slip me their own pills to slow me down, why I had to experience an overdose, and why doctors used to hold me on the ground and give me a double dose of medication just because my roommate was telling a story and went up to, oh, he's not taking his meds, and as a joke to get back at me, and they're going to hold me down even though there's no evidence. A lot of these doctors are very quick to do this. But why? Why would I have to be drugged? Well, I'll give you an example of something recently that I said to my father, and I was trying to explain, or some other examples similar to this, and how he goes, "You need to be on pills. You're crazy. See, you just make up stories." And then they drug me, and when I need help, like let's say somebody robbed me or they stabbed me and I'm trying to call the police, then they go, "Yeah, sure, right. Your father says you're a storyteller. You don't need any help. Just fucking die on the fucking floor and bleed already." So when I have a seizure on the side of the road and I go to the emergency room to get a scan, or when they pick me up and I wake up in the emergency room, because that's usually what happens, I just wake up in the emergency room, do I get help? No. Why would that be? Because I am very intelligent. I like very interesting things. Like I'm watching how to turn a glass bottle and do flint napping, things like that. But there are more complex ideas that I try to share with other people, but they can't wrap their brains around it. So instead of trying to be like, wow, maybe I'm missing something, maybe this kid's more intelligent to me, they go, no, drug him. No, you're just some stupid, fucked up, crazy kid. Yeah, you have an immaturity problem. No, you're a storyteller. Like, I'll give you an example of one of my stories that people think I'm making up. I tried to explain to them that there's a theory that glass is a liquid. The reason for this is over 10,000 years, the molecules inside glass flow downwards like a liquid. It's just moving at such a slow pace, kind of like the pitch experiment, the pitch experiment, that you can't see it. So glass is actually a liquid. I'll say it just like that, and they'll go, glass isn't a liquid, it's a solid. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but you're nuts. You know what? You're just making up some story. That made no sense. That's just a made up story. You know what? If you're going to make up stories about stuff like glass, you could get somebody hurt, like drinking glass or something. Is that what you're trying to do? Trying to get people to drink glass? You're nuts. You need to be medicated. I'm like, no, I never said any of that. No, I said that the molecules in glass flow like a liquid, so it is a liquid. Well, let me give you an example. A stained glass window that is over 10,000 years old will be thicker at the bottom and thinner at the top. Now, a lot of this glass is built at the same ratio all the way through. But over time, there will be a lot of warping where the bottom of glass gets thicker and the top of glass gets thinner because the molecules flow downwards. Now, this is a process that we've seen, but also a lot of windows are made thicker at the bottom on purpose. So there's confusing evidence out there. But as far as scientists and chemists go, and if you understand how molecules work, glass is actually a flowing, free, moving substance. That it cracks very easily. It can be. It's one of those things that breaks some of the rules. Like it's not your common solid. Just like ice and water isn't your common liquid, gas, or solid. But glass is another one of those kind of iffy things where it's in its own little category. It's technically not a solid on a molecular level because the molecules are moving. They are flowing and they are free in a way. And that's what causes, but they're so slow you can't see it. You only could see it with a special measuring tool. But over 10,000 years, you can see it because you can measure how they've changed. Thickness has changed over time. And we know this now. So I'll try to explain how this cool little fact goes, and how glass is actually a very slow, super, super slow thing, kind of like pitch, but even slower than pitch. You know, the pitch experiment, every 10 years or whatever, you get a drop. Well, this is every 10,000 years, you get it all flowing to the bottom and getting thicker. But they can't wrap their head around it, so instead, I need to be drugged. And my